104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Rula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wuss! I am a wuss!
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Rula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good
morning.
Houston, Texas. It is Thursday, July 25th of 2024 at 6 o'clock on the dot. It's Rula, Ryan, Eric, and Sam.
See that? You like
And-
that? You
and
like
on the
that?
dot. Yes, Sam.
Sorry.
And it is rainy
It is
outside.
rainy. We're under a flood watch all the way through 10 tonight.
Ooh.
It's going to be one of those messy Thursdays.
Ooh.
Okay, do you work from home like maybe part of the week? Maybe today is that day you should ask.
Yeah, I would not go to work today.
Right.
They say the heaviest rains
cars.
are going to be along the south of the 59 corridor.
It's just so hard because I watch the news, I watch the weather, and then they say it's going to be bad all week, and then you just don't see it on certain days.
Or like
And
certain
maybe not
pockets
in
of
your
the
area.
city don't
Yeah.
have the bad.
And then you see, like, it's that cry wolf syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, ain't going to happen all of a sudden today. I'm like, oh, it's happening. 'Cause
Yesterday
I
was-
didn't see it. Like,
Right? That's what I was just going to say. Yesterday it seemed fine, but my phone kept popping up.
yeah,
like,
the phone was showing rain. I'm like, I don't
Yes.
think
Because I was like, can I take my dog for a walk with Santi or not? And I tried to look at the radar and it said no rain. And I was like, then why is it all over my.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
But I think most of us are on heightened alert after the derecho
Well,
and then, of course,
and the hurricane.
Beryl. So now we take everything very
I
seriously.
think people's roofs are still.
Yeah,
Being
leaking.
Current.
Still leaking.
That's me.
How long does it take? And your
Three
tarp
tarps.
has been on from derecho. So what's the
It-
timeline on your tarp?
It was on derecho, and then Hurricane Beryl blew it off, all three of them. So then
wow.
Mark and my person that sold me my house had to climb up on the roof and
What's that
called a
person
realtor. Real estate agent.
real estate agent, climbed
Not
up on,
realtor.
climbed up on the
Why
roof
do we
and
always
put
say
the
that?
tarp.
I still don't understand why we say
Realtor?
realtor. Sometimes people say that.
Realtor.
There
Was
was
it
a
a commercial?
Real-
Well, it was a sponsorship on this show years ago, and I remember because I'm real visual, right? I remember
Yeah.
the way the sheet looked, and it said, "Brought to you by the National Association of Realtors," and it had it in parentheses, "Real Tours," like not realtor
Oh, realtor.
to pronounce it, because it's not realtor.
I know.
it's
I don't know why
realtor.
I always add extra.
But you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Everyone's-
Lots
That's
of
why
people
they had to phonetically
Realtor.
put that on the sponsorship,
that makes sense.
like the National Association of Texas
like
Association. of
February as a kid. I'm like,
February.
February.
Like
February.
library. When I was a
Yeah.
child, I'd say library
Yeah,
until I
library.
realized it was library.
Yeah.
And I was old, like
it's like I got to hear it, then I got to see it.
Over and over again.
Or my mind, especially with Persian names. All these friends that are Persians, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I have no way to even think that in my head.
So
I've
you
never
just
heard
see it
that.
visually written
those
down.
letters put together.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. I feel like if you saw the spelling, you'd be like, wait, oh, that makes sense.
I'm like,
Okay, you know what? It's funny because with foreign names, obviously a lot of different names that are not the norm. And I was blessed to have a very easy Greek name my whole life. Christy is my given name at birth. It was cut from Christofidis, and it was made into Christy, just like George Mitchell, like the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. George Mitchell was Greek. His last name was a long Greek name.
What was
Changed
it?
it to Mitchell. I think it was like Barbayanopoulos or something.
oh, thank God. They changed
Oh,
it.
yeah. Hey, we're going
I don't
out
know
to
what
the
it was.
Bubba
Yeah.
movie.
pavilion
Maybe
today.
I mean I could be totally off on that, but there are really long names out there, and people have a hard time just saying regular words like realtor. So how do you expect to say Barbayanopoulos?
Yeah.
The one commercial, Jaguar.
Jaguar.
He's got to do it in that, very aristocratic voice.
Snobby.
Try the new 2025 Jaguar.
I think
Jaguar.
that screws me up, too, with cars when you buy them. Like, you get the new one, it's like 2024, or it's 2025. Or,
Guys go a year
I'm like,
ahead.
but the brand new ones now are 2024 for some vehicles.
What?
I'm like, well, shouldn't it be 2025 now? But maybe they don't come till October. I'm just so
yeah, you're right.
I'm always confused.
Yeah, like when's the new one come out?
And then you gotta make sure they're not going to change the whole body frame of the car.
Never buy a car.
You got to ask them,
without
like, is this going to
asking.
stay the body for this car for the next
Do you know
couple
to ask
years?
that question, Sam?
Oh no.
Yeah, when you buy a
when
new
you buy a
car?
new car, you ask them when's the body style changing out.
And they know that?
They
Oh,
usually
yeah.
will if it's for a while. Like
If they
like
plan on doing
Suburban,
it.
let's say Suburban had a body style change a couple of years ago, and I had the one before that. And I remember saying, okay, well, the first one I ever got for our family, we leased it because we weren't really sure how we were going to work a Suburban. Like, do we want the bench in the back seat or do they do captains? Why don't we lease this Suburban and then we'll see how it fits our family the best.
Yeah.
And then if we like it at the end of the lease, we'll just get a new one. Well, when we did that at the end of the lease, the new one was the flip out version. I was like, oh, well, the body style changed. Man, aren't I happy? Because had I bought the one before, I'd be like, oh, I was like 1 year, 2 years shy of having the new
try and trade
body
it in,
style.
well,
Because your
It gets
car will
much.
be devalued. So you always want to ask, are you going to do a body style change
Unless you
anytime
like,
soon?
unless you like that style.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you like
Like my
me,
wife
you buy
and
the
I-
same brand every time.
So we like more boxy
Yeah.
looking cars. I don't like the bubble butts on the cars.
Bubble butts. Bubble, 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 butt.
Like I call it the space shuttle. The Infiniti QX80. I
Yes.
think it used to be called the QX56. It
Just-
was the big
I feel
SUV.
like any-
it's like a space shuttle.
Yes.
I've always called it the space shuttle. I used to have one, and it was like the space shuttle. It was very comfortable, but you're right. It was real like a bubble.
Yeah.
You're a boxy, yeah.
I like more boxy stuff.
Like a
I saw-
Jeep, a Bronco,
Yeah.
Range Rover.
But you don't like the
Yeah.
boxy
G-Wagon.
Land Rovers.
Do you like the boxy Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck?
I don't understand that.
That looks
man.
more like, I don't.
It looks
It's
sci-fi.
boxy, but
That's not
it's
really
not.
That's weird.
I would
No, that thing looks
absolutely
like-
get one, but
I
don't
saw a
have it.
picture of one that was
think
totaled
there's-
on Instagram yesterday,
Oh,
and they said that
gosh.
to repair it is more expensive
I've never
than to buy
seen
a new
like
one.
the real people
Wow.
that need it, like a rancher or a farmer.
You're right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's some rich dude.
you see him in
I
the city
definitely
here.
want to see a rancher use one.
To be fair, I'm not out on ranches,
right.
but do you think there'd be a commercial or a TikTok video of somebody actually using it? I've never seen them use the back.
No,
You know,
No.
they open up that thing and
it's not that
Right, I've never
big.
seen the back
it's
open.
for like
trunk.
aesthetics.
The truck we're talking about reminds me of kids' baseball sunglasses on the field, and I have a picture
Oh,
pulled
yeah.
up here.
the Oakleys.
If you look
back in
at
the Oakleys,
little
yeah.
boys
back.
on the baseball team wearing sunglasses, that's
Oh,
what that
yeah.
truck looks like. I was like, I don't understand this truck. It's not at all. Where do you get in there? Like, it's not at all exciting to me. It doesn't look cool to me. I'm like, whatever. I don't get it. Why you spend a lot of money?
I was at some
Maybe
event.
somebody
They
has
had
it,
one.
thinks it's
They had
awesome.
one on the floor, and you open it up, and it's basically you open it up. It's very minimalistic on the inside. You open it
Yeah.
up, and it's basically a giant iPad and a steering wheel, and that's it.
Right.
It's like
Does
really
the inside
simple.
of it look like a car? Just
Yeah.
the outs like but I'm saying like does the inside of the Tesla truck, does it look like the Tesla like a Tesla car?
No, it doesn't.
It has a different
It has a different feel.
straight
It
in
looks
the
different.
inside?
Yeah.
Got it. Oh,
Yeah.
Somebody just
like I
said-
said, it's very simple.
Somebody on
Yeah.
text at 37530 said, I'm 40 years old and I never knew to ask that. Thanks, guys, especially because I'm going to go look for a new car the next few weeks about the body style change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
I
they
didn't know that
tell
was a
you
thing.
that, hey, in 6 months we're doing a complete redesign on the vehicle.
maybe you get it cheaper too.
Yeah,
You could do that.
because your
And-
resale value is going to go.
I'm telling you, if you're looking at a car and you go to a place and you see their price, don't be afraid to go to call another, like say it's a
Dealership?
Chevy or a
Oh,
Ford
yeah.
or whatever. Don't just stay with that one place. That's why they want to keep you there.
Yeah.
Go, okay, oh, this is the price you got me? This is it? Okay, well, let me think about it. Then run to the other place
Yeah.
and say, hey, what do you have? Oh, that's what you have? Well, these guys can do it for like a lot cheaper.
Yeah, remember, they work for you. You don't have to impress them.
Yeah.
They all are competing
There's so
for
many.
your
There's so
money.
much competition out there. If you got the time, why
Although
not?
in the 90s, it was a pretty savage world, the car sales world. I had two people in my circle who gave me really terrible stories of trying to buy a car. Like one lady was trying to buy a truck, Eric, and she did what you were talking about. She went to a couple different dealerships to get the numbers.
You're not gonna get like $10,000 cheaper, but
No,
at least
but
get.
every
maybe $1,000
$1,000 counts.
Right.
And she said when she went back to the original one to tell him, well, look, I looked at this truck over here. This is before we had internet, right? Like in 1996, people didn't have internet on their phones.
No way.
So she had to physically go there. And when she went back to the original dealership, the guy got mad at her and threw her keys like on the floor at the parking lot and told her to get the hell out of here.
Damn.
Yes. And then another friend of mine,
That's a good- you
her
don't want it,
husband had gone to a dealership that had some shifty, rumored business practices, but he didn't know that. And he got this truck, and he was his wife was very mad at him for getting the truck because the percentage rate was terrible and la 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 la. And the guy went back begging to return the truck, and the guy they were like, no. You signed a contract. No. I think there's a rule now in Texas. You have 3 days to return that
That's what
car,
I'm-
and they have to take it back.
Is that real?
Yeah, I believe that's true.
I just remember the lemon law because you guys remember 2 cars ago that I had this car, and I always loved this brand, this vehicle.
Hey, you bought one for your wife at the time.
Yeah. And they've
matching
always been
one.
solid cars, but I got a lemon. It was in the shop like 11 times in the course of like a year and a half. It was and
Oh my
11
god.
times, yeah. And at 50,000 miles, you can no longer claim it as a lemon. And I think overall it's something it ended up being like 17 trips to the shop. And I was like, I got to take it back. This car is a lemon. And I was at 50,025 miles.
Oh, they wouldn't.
And they would not take it back.
Well, how much time
That's
does
what
it
you
take
do what
to do
Special K
50,000?
does. Go to that one guy that could turn the dominant.
Yes.
Oh,
They
they
did
can
another
tell. They can tell. They know.
I mean, isn't
They can't tell
50,000?
that.
That's like over 6 months.
How are they going to tell if you put it back 30 miles?
It's because you're driving a computer. That's what all cars are nowadays.
That's what Kevin's car was.
Kev's car
Like
is
but
not
back
a
then it
computer.
wasn't.
No, Kevin's driving
but
a very
their car
old
back
basic.
then wasn't like it was a.
No, they're all still computerized. This was only like 8 years ago.
Was that was
Yeah, 2016,
12.
2016.
That's a question too. Can you buy, like, say you like a car? Can you buy the same car for yourself as your mate?
No.
Or is that too weird? Like,
I
it's
think
like I love my
that's
wife's car that I
weird.
got
have
her.
two of the same car.
No.
Like I love my truck, but I like her car. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind having one of those. I was hoping she wouldn't like it and would give it to me.
So then you guys could switch?
And then,
Or-
I'd sell my truck or something, or buy her something different.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
no, I wouldn't want the
but
same
then,
vehicle.
I don't want to have the same vehicle. It's-
No, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's like ordering the same
But if you really
meal
like
at
that
dinner.
product-
You want something
Yes,
different. Try to see the two different
absolutely,
dishes.
Absolutely.
Let's say you got a
Not
really
the
good,
same two cars.
you got a really
Yeah.
good Camry and you love it.
No.
You have a black one. and
You're
then
like, we're a
get
Camry family.
get a white
Everyone has a
one.
Camry.
Now we did have two.
I mean,
when
it's cool with Jeeps, but I'm not going to get two Jeep Gladiators.
No, not the identical car. But when you've got kids, like when I was married and my daughter was really young, my ex-wife and I, we both had SUVs because we were all part of a big carpool. So if she was carpooling, she had her SUV. If I was carpooling, I had mine.
I mean, SUVs.
Well,
is
also
different.
Houston,
Yeah.
Texas needs SUV. I feel like you're riding crazy if you're just
I
in a
feel like
regular
you're
car.
Ryan
now.
just-
It's much
Ryan
wants to
kind of
be
traffic.
safer.
He wants to be one with the soccer moms out there.
By the way, I looked it up, guys.
Those soccer
To
mom
obtain a
cars.
full refund, you must ask for the refund of the car before midnight on the third business day after the sale.
Oh.
Keep a copy of the form. Even if you miss the 3-day deadline, your sale may be void if the salesperson failed to make certain disclosures
How about
or
the
certain
miles?
other conditions are met. Well, in 3 days, how many miles did you
I'm like, hey, I'm going to go. So rent a car. I'm going to go to this dealership, use their car for 3 days, take it back,
Oh
and
my
then go fly
God.
home.
Eric's teaching you how to.
I don't think that would work. You're going to be there
unethical
all day.
things.
You're going to be there all day. It's not.
No,
gonna-
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. But I guess you
Because
could.
when you purchase a car, it's an all-day experience.
yeah, and then take it back. They're not going to make it easy for you.
is.
I mean, even if you
No, it
walked
takes
in with a briefcase full of
hours.
money and paid for the whole thing right there on the spot, it's still going to be like quite a few hours.
Yeah, you're right. It's never.
Like,
You're
what
not
is
an
going on?
You're not
back
in and
there?
out like that.
What,
No,
what am
why
I
is it
waiting for
so
exactly
difficult?
with this paperwork?
They
Can
want you
just
to finance.
let
They
me-
always want
should
you to
do
do
that.
everybody, most people finance. You're still waiting. Why?
Yes.
Doesn't
Behind the
make sense.
scenes. Remember we did that a long time ago. like
Oh
20
yeah,
years
we
ago.
got shut down.
But that was when there's lots of car dealerships, like on radio.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you that story in the scoop in case you missed it, 6 o'clockers. It was one of the moments in Rule and Ryan show history.
That was our
We
first,
almost got slapped on. We didn't get slapped on the wrist. We got punched in the face and
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's your weather for today.
Okay,
that one.
so it is a flood watch. It's been extended through 10 p.m. tonight. We're looking at heavy rains today. The heaviest of rains will be along the south of the 59 corridor. Those heavy rains could lead to street flooding, low-lying flooding, plus excessive runoff could lead to flooding of some creeks, streams, and bayous. So it is going to be
Basically, if you know what
rainy,
ponds around
rainy
you,
day.
it's ponding around you.
Yeah.
You know
so
your area.
It's only going to be a high in the 80s. Right now, it's already 76 degrees and 613 on the Rule and Ryan Show.
Please introduce Rula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
on KRBE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Arandas, and the scoop is about us. Yesterday, we were talking about how we started on KRBE in 2006 on yesterday's date, July 24. The Rule and Ryan Show has been part of Houston, Texas since 2003, and there are a lot of things that we've done on the air that behind the scenes you have no idea was chaos because we just, we're professionals. We're trying to be professional.
We don't want to burden you with our behind-the-scenes drama.
Might cry, get threatened to lose our job.
In the 3 years before our time here at KRBE, there was a bit that we had come up with, a segment, and it was called Spill the Beans.
Behind the scenes.
I still think it's a good segment. However, the first time we did Spill the Beans, I think it was about like event planning or something. We had like an event planner in here for like wedding receptions, blah, blah, blah. Kind of tells you some ins and outs of the best ways to save money when you're planning a wedding, or here's what you don't know.
Those
la, la,
shows
la.
are big right now, like all the like Disney, behind the scenes of Disney. Rula loved those.
Oh my God,
Cruise
there was
ships.
a show called Behind the Bash. How they make the Oscars work, like the big governor's ball afterwards, and all the food. How when the royals visit an American city, what behind the scenes is happening in those tents where they're cooking all that
Secret
food.
Service, the day of when they get they become president, whenever they do the parade.
The inauguration.
Yeah. I think they did one for that, which I'm like, why are they telling everybody how they do
I
this?
know,
those
I know,
secrets
it's
out
terrible.
now.
So behind the scenes is always very interesting to people. So we did it like once a week, and we had we were on the third rotation. The third rotation was spill the beans.
I remember this.
On the car industry, on purchasing a vehicle. Because my specific question was, what's with this damn transportation fee? That's a bunch of bullcrap, right? That's like $985 for a transportation fee. What is that?
All these little fees. When you buy a vehicle, if you look at all the fees that are tacked on.
Like, what's the real price that we should be trying to shoot for when we're buying a car?
The new people want to know that. Everyone has
of course.
to buy a
Everybody has to buy a
vehicle.
car.
Like, what's the tricks?
So this guy calls up, on the show. Sometimes, we for the event planner, we had her in studio, but we invited anybody to call our show who worked the industry to give us their secrets. So this guy calls up the show, and he said he was a car manager at a dealership for like 20 years, and he was out of the business, and he was blowing the doors off. And he starts telling us, I wish,
but it wasn't
all
bad
the things
stuff.
I remember,
it wasn't, but
he wasn't angry. He wasn't like, let me tell you guys how much we take advantage of y'all. He didn't
was
present it like that.
spilling secrets that
He was just
dealerships
saying,
don't want
here's what
spilled.
you don't need. Here's what you don't need to pay for. If you see this, mark that off. You're going to tell them, I'm not paying for that. That's totally made up. That's going straight to my pocket. That's for the dealership. That's la la la. And I remember at the door, we have a glass door to the studio, and like the sales manager, like a salesperson, like our manager is like all in the window, and they're like this. And so apparently,
Shaking
while
our
we've been
hands.
talking to this guy. When we talking to this guy on the air, whoever runs dealerships that was advertising on that radio station was calling and saying, what in the hell's the Rule and Ryan show doing right now? Why are they giving away all our secrets? And so they freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
And they sent them down the hall. And then, it was weird when you see somebody waving hysterically in the glass door, you're thinking, is there a killer in the hallway? Like, what is happening? So we wrap up the bit, and they come in like, y'all gotta shut that down. Y'all gotta shut that down. You gotta just stop talking about it. You gotta just stop talking about it. Just get that guy off the air. You guys just gotta stop talking about
Do
it.
that again.
And we're like, what? He's just helping people out. No. We got people hot on fire on the phones. You got to make them stop. All these dealerships are calling us, telling us to shut up.
They were
and I'm
mad.
like, what? And I remember we didn't really stream back then. We didn't have stream technology, but we did have the technology, I guess, to post the show later. And they erased that whole file. They erased the file, Sam. I could even go back to remember what the guy said. They erased it. They were so mad.
It's hard to balance it because you do the show for the listeners.
You do.
Right.
But you understand
you
that
gotta also
the bills are
gotta pay
paid
bills too.
through clients.
So it's a tightrope of.
Radio's free because somebody else
You
paying
don't
for
wanna-
it.
You don't want to bite the hand that feeds
And you
you.
never want to offend, especially if someone wants to be part of your show and spend money. That's really nice.
It's interesting how Rula
Right.
said
But
they
we're
erased-
human. We didn't know it was. Still don't think
We still
what
did
the
not-
guy. I still think you could do the bit, but I'm afraid to ever do it because I don't. Want to
You,
deal
you
with
might
that.
have somebody that gets bent out of shape, and it's just not worth it. But you mentioned that that was erased. Now, what a lot of people don't realize, we yesterday celebrated our 18th anniversary here at KRBE.
Not birthday.
Yeah, anniversary.
Anniversary.
birthday.
And there were 3 years before that, we were at a different station together where we first came to Houston. And
Where
that was,
this whole bit happened.
yeah. And that place, they did let us go. We kind of knew it was coming. And when they let us go, they didn't let us keep our shows. They threw them all away in a dumpster.
If
In a
I'd known that,
dumpster.
I would have been at the dumpster to get them.
Yeah. Or I would have fought harder. Like
Yeah.
we thought they were going to
I'm
give it to
taking
us.
these.
They threw them away just because when you leave a job in radio,
That was like that station that's owned now. It was
no,
this other guy.
different company, different people.
Yes.
That company got.
I mean, the
None of
name's the
those people
same,
were
but it's
there.
not the same people.
Yeah.
Right. It's a different company that owns them entirely, and none of those people work there except for like one, but we like that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of funny how things happen. You don't even know the drama and the chaos behind the scenes.
That's what I always wonder when I listen to other shows or I try and I always wonder what's going on.
The drama behind the scenes.
Yeah, because you hear things. Everyone knows things.
Because there's always somebody that may be a little difficult, or you've got the butt chewing from the bosses, the pressures.
Butt chewing? Is that what it's
Butt
called?
chewing.
It's true. You have no
Sounds
idea. You may think that
interesting.
they're the happiest people on earth. Now, we're really lucky, and I'm not just saying this. We're really lucky. We're in a situation where we are happy here, and we're happy with everybody. It is like a family here. But we have worked together in other places where that wasn't always necessarily the case.
Ryan got in a fight with a guy once. Was in New York and trying to punch the guy in the face.
The guy grabbed me. I didn't draw. I
You're
didn't.
very pugnacious, Ryan, because you also
I-
threatened our boss at the other place in the hallway and
Ryan's
screamed
got
at
many
him.
fights over
I
the
did
years.
not. I did not
I
draw
guess I never
first blood.
cared enough to fight.
No, and that was 20 years ago, and I'm certainly not that person anymore. I mean, I needed help, and I got it. And, every day is a work in progress.
Better help.
Yeah. The only person I would fight is Special K.
And people would probably pay to see that.
Yeah.
As long as you're wearing a bikini or something.
Yeah.
He would beat me up though.
Put you in
Remember
a
when
ring.
We did,
No way. No,
No,
way.
I think
you get him a
Kev
leg
would-
lock. You got your legs.
Kev is squirrely. You know what I mean? Like
He's
will,
scrappy.
Slippery like an eel.
He is.
No, you
but
can
remember
take
when we did? We were at the float in Galveston
For Mardi Gras.
for Marty. No,
No, for a road show.
Oh, for the road
float.
show.
I thought you were saying on a float.
No, the
No,
float.
sorry,
float,
the
yeah,
float
for the
in-
road show.
Yes, and I have no idea why we did this, but we had to like squish peanuts on our butts.
Oh, yeah, it was a game that we
Oh,
played.
we were playing
Why?
a game.
At float.
Oh, yeah,
I have
what
no
was
idea
it?
why we did that.
It was
you
it
said
was
something
a
Did we
game
say
we
that-
were doing.
No, but I
something
think
about-
I told Kev that I can smash more peanuts with my butt.
They're
or
talking about their
something.
butts. Who had a better butt and who could crack stuff with their butts or something.
Something. I have
Wait, did
no
you have to put them
idea.
like between your cheeks and
No,
stuff?
No, they
so
sat on them.
remember we
Sit on
sat on them and squished
I was
them.
like, what?
And we did not
That.
put them between our cheeks.
I was like,
we
that's
had-
very odd.
We had to like
High concept comedy.
Oh, I
we
swallowed
had to,
one.
we like sat on them like we had to like
Yeah.
squat down really
At
really
the pool,
fast,
right?
Yes, and
On the edge of the
squish as
pool.
many peanuts as we possibly could with our butts. I have
who won
no
that one?
idea. No, Kev won that one.
Oh, funny.
Because I think his butt is like firmer than mine.
So you think based on the
tenderized.
firmness of his butt, he would beat you in a fight?
Yeah, what are you gonna have, butt fight?
How does that
I don't
connect?
know why that connected. I have no idea how I got to point A to point B
Is that his
to
move?
peanut butt.
He'll jump on you in the air and put his butt in.
That's what I'm thinking.
You got a
He's just
butt
gonna like
punch.
smash me with his butt.
Somebody
I don't-
text.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know where
so
I-
You guys aren't going to tell us about the secrets of dealerships now?
I
No.
don't remember. I honestly don't remember them. There's no way. I can't remember what happened last
I'm
week.
sure you can go down on
I
TikTok.
just
and find
remember
it.
about
Yep.
the fees that he said there are things on the line, but I was so mad because you know how I remember the craziest of things, and I remember the dates, and I remember what people looked like, and I remember when people call our show certain times. I can't remember the secrets he was spilling that made them. I think it's because after he spilled like the first or second secret, which definitely transportation was one of those. That's when all the chaos started in the door.
Yeah.
And I was distracted because I'm
Yes.
like, what is happening? So I wasn't really absorbing what he was saying. I was looking at the chaos at the door. Like, why is everybody so mad about this guy being on the air?
Yep.
No, it makes
I mean,
sense.
I think spilling the beans is still a great idea. You can always tell us things, and if we present it with, hey, tell us some hacks, because now that's just called hacks.
Yeah.
Give us some hacks on how to get a great hotel rate. Give us some hacks on what to do when you
Well,
are
think about
booking a cruise.
Like Sam said, there's tons of TikToks now about
Right.
Yeah,
you can find out pretty much anything.
absolutely.
2003 and 4. They didn't have that stuff.
And we certainly
Exactly.
can't remember everything. I mean, we've done over 4,000 shows. Can you remember every single show?
Really
Everything that
can.
was spoken?
Almost every single one.
And I think we do have footage of you cracking nuts on your butt.
On the butt. Sorry, I don't know why I went that route.
I totally forgot we did that.
What did we do with the butt nuts afterwards?
I'm
They
sure
were just,
our
like, on the
fans came and like
Yeah,
picked
Sam-
them up
Sam
and
sold them,
and,
made $20.
yep, I did.
The feet pics.
I'm totally kidding.
Butt crumbs.
I'm sure. I don't know. And why did we do it right by the pool? Like that had to be a messy cleanup. Someone from promotions had to clean that up. I'm assuming.
You're like,
I still
"Well,
don't
it's
know
not me, I'm
why
the
we went
talent."
there. I don't know why we went there, but I
That's
just
beneath
remember
me.
it hurting.
I don't pick up
It was
butt
like
nuts.
trying to like sit on
positive
Legos.
It was something we talked about on the air as a joke that turned into, I don't know, can you smash peanuts with your butt?
Yes,
Let's
like,
try
why
it at
did we-
float.
I don't know why.
And then you and Kevin did that. Didn't Kevin get in the pool at float?
We all were.
We all did because we did you had to hold on to like a
Each of us
rope.
hold a rope, and then every time we got a question wrong,
You had to fall.
You dropped
you
us back
dro-
one farther into the pool, like we're holding
Yeah.
on for dear
Oh,
life.
right. At float on the seawall.
That was funny. I don't know.
That was a good time.
That's like a mini road show.
Because then I think somebody got
Maybe
water
road
up
show.
their nose. Wasn't it you or Kevin? And someone got sick.
I think it was Kev.
He didn't hold his nose and oh
He got
man,
water up his nostril and
got
got sick.
Something happened to him.
sick from it.
Something happened. It's probably the drinking he did,
That
though.
was
The joke at float was, wow, there's a lot of people in that pool, and I'm not sure what else besides the people were in there.
exactly.
we got to talk about something that
So years ago, we went to this radio convention we go every single year, and they always like to entertain us with a stand-up comedian that might be newer or just not so well known. Sebastian Maniscalco was that comedian, and it's the first time we ever heard the bit about the doorbell ringing and having coffee cake for company in the 80s versus the doorbell ringing now, and you get down and act like no one's home and you feel like you're under siege.
Everybody, get down.
Get down. Don't answer the door. And to that point, there is a statistic that has come out today about when your doorbell rings that we feel we need to share with you, and also news about Sebastian Maniscalco and the Rule and Ryan Show coming up next on KRVE.
Back to the Rule and Ryan Show.
Alrighty, don't forget, you're about 15 minutes away from Rula and Ryan's Roses. We're going to find out whether or not somebody's cheating. All I know is that this person had cheated in the past, and she's worried he's doing it again.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling. So let's help her get some answers after 7 o'clock. If you are interested in being part of Rule and Ryan's Roses because you need some answers for yourself, go to krbe.com and we can help you out. Now, Sebastian Maniscalco is coming back to Houston in August. He is quite the celebrity now. He's been in different movies like The Irishman. He's done a lot of different projects.
What was the one I watched on Max with Robert De Niro? Oh, what the?
That's The Irishman.
Flowers of the Killer Moon?
No, it was a comedy. It was like a father.
Oh.
It was like, I can't remember, about my father or something. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
It came out last year, and he used his last name, his real name.
Maniscalco.
Really?
It's almost like De Niro's supposed to be his dad. He was a hairdresser.
Okay.
His hair and stuff.
Robert De Niro's a hairdresser?
Kim Cattrall's in it. She's like his future mother-in-law. He's trying to impress them, but he wanted his dad to meet that family, and they're very, like, she's a senator, and they're just, from Chicago. His dad cuts hair, and he's just...
That's so weird.
It's over the top. It's pretty funny.
Man, you know a lot about this movie for not knowing the name.
I can't remember. I'm bad at names nowadays.
About my father.
Yeah, see,
That's
it's one of
what
those
it
things like names are... It used to be easy when I was a kid. Terminator 2. Porky's.
Well,
Revenge of the Nerds.
This-
easy stuff to remember.
They say this film centers around Sebastian, who is encouraged by his fiancée to bring his immigrant hairdresser father, Salvo, to a weekend get-together with a super rich and exceedingly eccentric family.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be here
good.
August the 8th at Toyota Center. The last time I saw him, it was the first event that the Smart Financial Center hosted after they opened from COVID.
Oh, wow.
And that was a really big deal because remember how everyone was like trying to like dip their toe back in the water of being around all the people. And it was like, you had to show your vaccine card and you can't have bags that aren't clear. And it was just a lot of different levels to get into it. It was like, wow, this is the first thing back since COVID. Well, Sebastian Maniscalco has made quite a name for himself. And one of his biggest bits that put him on the map was the fact that he talked about in the 80s, your mom would buy Entenmann's coffee cake, but tell you not to eat it because that's for company. You would welcome a random doorbell ding and welcome somebody would just stop by, say, hey, we were just in the neighborhood stopping by. Now the doorbell rings and you act like you're in combat.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yes.
You get on the ground and you don't want them to know you're home. Somebody's coming down the stairs. You're like, get down. Do we have any clip of that at all?
I think so. I think it's the build-up.
Okay,
of
let's
this.
hear it. Let's hear a little bit.
Give me one
For those that aren't familiar, Sebastian Maniscalco.
I was sitting in my house a couple weeks ago, just relaxing. My doorbell rang. This is weird. It's a different feeling when your doorbell rings today opposed to 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, your doorbell rang. That was a happy moment in your house.
It's true.
It's called company. You'd be sitting there on a Thursday night watching TV. Your doorbell rang. The whole family shot off the couch. Oh my God! Put the lights on. Somebody's here. We got people. The whole family went to the door. The kids were in socks. They slid up to the door. Nobody looked to see who it was. All right, you just opened up the door. You were like, oh my God, look at that. Look at us here. You'd ask him, what the hell are you doing here? And the person would be like, I was in the neighborhood.
I was so excited.
I thought I might stop by, see how the kids are doing. They're like, oh, come on in. We're gonna have some cake.
Voice.
Your mother had a little Entenmann's. Maybe some Sara Lee crumble cake,
Ooh, yum.
just in case company came over. She made an announcement when she bought it. She's like, listen, nobody touch this cake. This is for company only. Those crap muffins, those are for you people.
Because that's how often people would come to your door. I would say maybe even 25 years ago. Well, who answers the door anymore is a statistic today where they polled different people. If somebody just knocked on your door unannounced, would you answer it? Most people are like, I have a Ring camera and I have a gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens if someone's at your door anymore.
If you're 65 and older, Americans in the survey who are 65 and older, who are probably the ones that should not be answering the door, are the one. 59% said, yeah, I'd answer the door if a stranger
I think
knocked.
because they're lonely.
65 and older.
Well, they grew up their whole life.
Yeah, like it's fine.
That's like this.
Sebastian
What
just
he's talking
said.
about.
They go to the door and they want company. They
Yeah.
think someone good's going to be there.
The younger the adult, the less likely you are to answer your door. 23% said they would totally ignore an unexpected visitor. Only 5% in the survey said, oh, there's excitement if I get an unexpected
Hell no.
No,
door
I
knock.
don't like it.
1/3 said curiosity best describes the reaction to an unexpected knocker, while 1/4 of them are annoyed.
That's why that Ring, I can't believe the Shark Tank guys and girls did not think that would be successful.
They
just-
I
passed
remember
on
the
it?
episode. Do you all know this?
Yeah.
I
Passed
remember
on the Ring.
Yes,
Doorbot or
I remember
something they
Mr.
called
Wonderful. It was like so mad at this guy. Like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. So you're telling me I'm not home, but my doorbell rings, and I just need to have an alert that somebody rang my doorbell. But I think the Ring has evolved, Eric, from what Shark Tank was presented.
Have to watch the
because
video. You can watch the video. And,
I don't
YouTube.
remember if
Vi-
it was
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to see the video on your phone.
to see what is there. And
But
I
they
remember it
didn't
was
think
so
there's any reason.
foreign to them. Like,
Yeah.
why would you ever?
Because they have mansions, they have maids, and
They're
and
out of touch
butlers.
with reality, with what the normal
I
person
think Mark
lives
Cuban
like.
has to go answer his door.
No.
He's a billionaire.
Although
He doesn't even have a key to his house, probably.
Everything's a code.
Yeah.
So I just remember, like, they were really they scoffed this guy off. Like, that is the dumbest thing. And now it's the Ring.
And I'm trying to get Sebastian on the show because to promote his show that's
Oh,
coming up this week. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see if it happens next week. But we saw him back in 2008
Oh, yeah,
or
he
9
came to our radio
doing
convention
that bit.
and
That's
did
like
that
his
bit with that voice.
and we're like hooked.
This guy's so funny.
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
nothing.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Rule and Ryan Show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
All right, be careful out there. We're under a flood watch through 10 p.m. tonight. The FBI and local law enforcement carried out a massive bust yesterday morning, arresting 50 plus, it's actually 53 Houston area residents on a series of wire fraud indictments stemming from an alleged fraudulent bail bond scheme. Able Bonds falsified financial documents to secure temporary release for individuals who would not have otherwise met the requirements. Authorities said that Able Bonds recruited individuals who co-signed bond agreements and falsely stated that they were employed or had incomes that met the threshold necessary to serve as a co-signer. Now, if convicted, each of the 53 individuals named in the indictment faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 maximum fine. The bust was so huge, y'all, that law enforcement had to use a facility at NRG for the processing of them.
That's gonna be weird.
Bravo for them for getting all those
But
people.
they own a bond company now. They have to get another bond for
Yeah.
themselves.
They had a
That's
bond out.
irony.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hell no, you guys.
We're fake bondsmen. Can you bond us out?
There's the irony.
But they were real. Somehow that lady got passed a few years ago. They said they showed videos of her
Yeah.
getting the stamp of approval, saying, "Yep, okay, that's legit."
Yeah.
So these people caused a lot of. Think about how many people are out on
Put
bond. and
violent criminals back on the street. Yeah.
then
So
hurt people.
Well, we know how many people have been murdered because of people who were bonded out. They
Yep.
let the dirtbags out to go kill again.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of traffic downtown this morning. Vice President Kamala Harris, she arrived yesterday in Houston to get briefings on the region's recovery efforts after Beryl, but she is scheduled to attend the American Federation of Teachers annual convention at George R. Brown, 10 a.m. this morning. I can only imagine traffic's going to be really difficult around downtown. Gene Peterson, the legendary voice of the Rockets for more than 3 decades, passed away yesterday. He
Saw
was
that.
83 years old. God, I loved listening to him. He suffered from lung cancer that had metastasized in his liver and gallbladder. The Rockets' wins, they were always complete when Peterson would declare how sweet it is.
In the 90s, if you listened
He was
to a
the best.
Rockets game, Gene Peterson was the voice.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the Astros,
Rest in peace.
they ended their 3-game skid. They now are in the sole position of first place.
Yeah, because Seattle pooped the bed.
Yay!
It was like 1-0 or something in the
Look
eighth
at
inning.
us cheering that on.
They lost 2-1. So yay for us.
All right, coming up next, it's Rulin' Ryan's Roses.
Are you having trouble in your relationship and you don't really know where to go with what you're feeling? The feeling that your mate might be cheating on you or is keeping things from you? You come to us.